Today I have prepared 10 more tricks and tips for Apple Pages on your Mac. How can we add a link that will take us to a certain page in our Apple Pages documents on your Mac? As you can see, I got 3 pages here, and I will add a link to page number 3 that will be at the very top of page number 1. So you can click on that and jump to page number 3. Before we can do that, we need to set up some bookmarks. So I'm going to select the title of each page, head to Insert at the top, and I will use this title as the bookmark. Alright, done for this page. Same here. And I will add one more here on page 3. Why do we need to do that? Because now we can use the link feature and select which bookmark do we want to go to. So if I type something like go to page 3, I can select that, insert a link to a bookmark, and we can select which bookmark do we want to use. I want to use page 3, I click go to bookmark, and here it is. We can scroll all the way up, and now we just need to click on that. It's a link, it's like kind of underlined like a proper link. You can click on that and then go to bookmark. It will take you straight here. Alright, so that's how you can create links inside a single document that take you to different pages. Sometimes all we need is a simple JPEG. So how can we save our Apple Pages document as a simple image? Head to File at the top left. Search for Export to, and there's option Images. Click on that. You will have this pop-up window when you can decide which format do you like. You can decide between PNGs or JPEGs. You can choose a high quality. It will be a larger size or smaller quality. And in that case, it may be a bit blurry, but the file will be really tiny. Actually, I recommend to change this to PNG, as we will not have any compression between like black text on the white backdrop. It will be way better. And now we can click Save. Because my document got 2 pages, as you can see here, each page was exported as the separate image. Let's open up this image, zoom in a bit, and we can tell it's an image, but I think the text is still pretty sharp. So it's really easy to share this on social media through email or communicators, because people don't need to have Apple Pages or not even Microsoft Word or whatever. They can just see the image, right? Okay, and you can also kind of protect your stuff if you don't want people to like copy and paste from your documents easily. Okay, so that's how easy it is to export your Apple Pages projects into images. Let me show you how we can insert a checkbox in Apple Pages on your Mac. Method number 1, we're going to just open a special characters menu. So I'm going to press Command Control Spacebar. This is the same place when you can search for those emojis. Alright, so from here you can search for checkbox as well. You can get a different style of checkboxes, X's, empty boxes, everything's here. So let's add the classic one, just like that. And then later on you can just copy this and paste. You can modify the color. It's a character, so to act like any other letter. Alright, so that's method number 1. And second method is to set up a special bullet point. So I'm going to turn this into a bullet list. So head to the right, and the type of the list is image. Be sure you open up the whole menu here, so you can change the image of the bullet. And as you can see, they already prepare checkboxes here. So there's one here that is unfortunately white by default. And then we can select box like that, and then for just one bullet you can change the image of this box to the one with the checkbox inside. Okay, so let's try again, maybe this one, and then if you want to check it with the checkbox, select the one again and modify the bullet image to the one with the checkbox inside already. And that's method number 2. So method number 1 is to just insert a character. You can use the character menu by pressing Control Command Spacebar. It is, or you can just copy and paste from like Google search if you like. Second method is to use bullet point list type image and then modify the image to be a checkbox. We can also select a custom image here, so if you want to prepare a different style of checkbox, maybe green, you can do it as well on your own and then insert that here. Let me show you how you can create a custom size of the paper in Pages on your Mac. Let's start with the blank document. Normally, you will always head to the document here on the right when we can change the size of the document, but on the list we got just some pre-made popular sizes. We cannot use any custom size that we can type in from the keyboard. So it's still possible, you just need to go to a different menu. So instead of changing it here, head to File and search for Page Setup. So we need this pop-up like that when we can switch to any printer. We got paper size here, but at the very bottom of the list we got custom size. If you select this, you will be able to add a new custom size. Click plus, and now you can specify how big you want this to be. So we can make it like 90 times 50, and this way we got a proper business card size that you can later on export to PDF and send to a printing house. Click OK. OK, and as you can see now our document is really small. It's proper for designing, let's say, a business card. So that's how you customize the size of your page. If you head to Document, you can select from some popular sizes like A4 or US letter or legal. But if you really need a custom one, instead of Document menu, head to the File at the top, Page Setup, and from here you can select Manage Custom Size, and by clicking this plus button you can add additional custom sizes that later on will appear on the list. How can we modify margins in Apple Pages? After you create your brand new document or open your older project, by default you will be in the format mode. Over here on the right, move from format to document mode. And here it is, you will see the size of your paper, orientation, then you will see a header, footer size, and then finally we got document margins. In my case, 2 centimeters all around. You can reduce that value, you can type it from the keyboard for each side, top, bottom, then we got left, and finally right. Keep in mind, you can type it in different units. I can type 1 inch. I click enter and it's already converted to centimeters because my document is set up in those units. So that's how easy it is. You can change your margins in the document setup here on the right side. Then you can go back to format to work with your fonts, colors and shape. In today's tutorial, I will show you where you can find resume templates in Apple Pages. Whenever you turn on the software, you will end up in this old template screen. You can narrow down your template selection by clicking on the theme on the left. So in our case, that's resumes. Click on that, and now we can see only resume templates. As you can see, there are exactly 9 right now prepared by Apple. So let's kick off our project by selecting this business resume over here. Click create, and here we are. We don't need to start from scratch. We can start from this template by customizing it. We got experience, education, skills, everything highlighted here, and you can of course type more, or you can duplicate the selections. If you want to duplicate the selection, just select this, Command C, Command V. This way you will get a proper color and font size, so you don't need to worry about that. And nowadays at the very top left, usually it's really popular to insert a picture of yourself. So how can we add this kind of container here at the top? We can use shape. So usually it's a circle or some kind of square with rounded corners. I will go with the circle. So if I add a circle and move it here to the top left, I'll be creating a spot for my image. Hold Shift to scale it with the 1:1 proportion. All right, this will do. And now we simply want to, instead of fill color on the right here in the format menu, we want to change fill color into image fill. I will keep the original size of the image, and I would choose the image from my hard drive now. Alright, and here's the image I have selected from my hard drive. We can also add a border color around it. We can match this color with the template. We can make it a bit thicker. And here it is. Alright, so we add an image to match our today's standards. You could say we can now move the name to the center as well. If you need additional section here in this free area, you need to type below this, or you need to create a new text box. To add a text box, you click text, and here it is. It's a bit easier than in similar software from other companies because you can freely move the text box in Apple Pages. So you don't need to make any fake tables to make a nice layout. Here it is. I add a text box. I can place it wherever I like. So this is a big advantage of using Apple Pages. Alright, so that's how to start your resume project in Apple Pages. You can use one of the ready-to-use templates. You can add a shape as your image placeholder, and then whenever you need more text, you can copy existing one or add a text box yourself here at the top. How can we add new fonts to Apple Pages? Actually, we are not adding fonts directly to Apple Pages. We simply need to add a font to our system fonts first. So whether you are on iPad or Mac, you will need to search for a font. So here I am on Google Fonts. There's a font I like at the very top. So I click on that font. There's a button on the right, Get Font, and I can now download this font. When you open up the font file, you will see the little preview and there will be Install button at the bottom right corner. Alright, the font is now in my system, so let's test it out in Apple Pages. Alright, here I am. I got some sample text here, and now I'm going to select the whole text, head to the right to the font section and search for the new font. It's helpful if you can remember the name of the font, or at least the first letter of that name. You can just type it on your keyboard. I press letter P and I jump straight to font starting with letter P. Here it is. Playwright MX. I click on that and my text changed to this brand new font we just installed today. Alright, so that's how you add new fonts to your Apple Pages project, by installing them to your system first. How can we highlight text in Apple Pages? Simply select part of your text. Then head to the Format panel on the right, and you will see this little toggle for more text options just below the size of the text. So click on that, and there will be a text background here. By modifying the text background, you are creating this highlight behind the text. So that's the cool part. It will not affect the text. It will be behind the text. Again, I select the part of the text, click the toggle just below the text size, and customize text background here. And that's how you can highlight part of your text in Apple Pages. How to save your Apple Pages document as a Microsoft Word document. Simply head to File at the top left. Then search for Export to. From here you have several formats. Let's select Word. And now we got this pop-up window. For the Word document, we don't have much options here, so we just click Save. Now it's creating Word document, and it will notify you how many different changes you got. So sometimes there are missing fonts or features between those two different programs. So as you can see, titles and captions were exported as a regular text box. That sounds alright. Click OK. Let's reopen that document in Microsoft Word. And here we are, and it's a rather similar document. We got 2 pages, we got page numbers in the footer, so it managed to save most of our document correctly. I don't see any huge mistakes here, or the text is kind of missing, or colors are wrong, or the image is way smaller than the original one. Seems like everything is fine. Let's double check here. Yes, it's almost exactly the same. Alright. So that's how easy it is to save modern Apple Pages to Microsoft Word. Keep in mind, you can also open Microsoft Word in Apple Pages nowadays. So if you are in Pages, and you do open, we just successfully opened a native Microsoft Word document in Pages. And again, it's all editable. We got texts, we got footers, and all of those elements recognized correctly, so they are way more compatible than in the past. Let me show you how we can set up our Apple Pages document to follow MLA formatting standards. Alright, let's start from the very top. Our document needs to be double spaced. Right now, on the right side in the format section, I can see I got a single spacing. So we can simply select all and change this to double. Alright, so this part is done. I will delete it. Now we need to change or be sure our paper is 8.1 by 11 inch. So let's head to document. And you can see my paper size is wrong. It's A4. So I'm changing A4 to US letter 8.5 times 11. That's perfect. Okay, we got the paper right. What's next? Now we need to be sure we got exactly 1 inch margins all sides. So I'm changing the document margins to be exactly 1 inch on all sides. For the header and footer, we can put ½ inch. Alright, we are done with margins. Next step will be to set up a default font. We can use Times New Roman, Arial, or Helvetica. So let's go back to format, and now I'm going to select all again, Command A, and I will change font to Times New Roman. The size should be from 11 to 13, so let's head with 12. I will type 12. A regular one as the default. Each page must include a running header with the author last name and page number. So head to the top, and here and in the header section we can first insert the page number, and in front of it type the surname. Perfect. And on the first page you must also put author name, instructor name, curse, and date of the paper. So we need to take this to the header on the left side this time. And we don't need those bullet points. The final touch for this basic setup will be to save this new style as a default one. As you can see, we make changes to the font size, and spacing. So now we want to update the default one, so every new text that is created will be in that style, so we don't need to reformat this again and again. So click update here next to the default text, and now our default text is set up to Times New Roman, size 12, and double spacing. So that will make our life easier. Alright, that's how you can set up your Apple Pages document to follow MLA standards. I hope this short tutorial was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.